Hello everybody and welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. So, in the last part, we got a new time block and we also went through Achi and Kano's story as best as we could, who were the two characters from the first time block. Now we have three entirely new characters that we've never met before. And we're just going to start from left to right. So we got Minorikawa. Minorikawa. Hey, Minorikawa. Frantic. The Super Cub 90 raced down Route 246 towards Shibuya. A motorcycle produced by Honda with an 85cc engine displacement. A common sight around town, often used by newspaper and postal delivery workers. Many owners are big enthusiasts, sometimes even swapping out parts such as handlebars or mufflers, and giving the body a repaint, resulting in fashionable bikes that don't even look like Super Cubs at first glance. The speedometer remained at a steady 60 kilometers per hour. Pumping the gas harder was no use. This was as fast as the bike would go. Minorikawa shouted as he sped along. "Damn it! I'm not gonna let you die!" He jerked the handlebars and blew past a truck on the inside. The driver scowled at him as he shot by. "You maniac! You trying to get yourself killed?" "Just the opposite!" Minorikawa shouted back. "I'm saving lives!" The stoplight ahead turned red, cutting him off at the intersection. Ah, come on. He had no choice but to slam on the brakes, but his agitation boiled over as he waited for the signal to change again. How long is this thing's gonna stay red? Hurry up already! He brought the bike right up to the very edge of the line, keeping the engine revved like a dragster ready to peel out. Not on time is not in my dictionary. The light turned red. Then Minorikawa's own light turned green at last. He hit the accelerator as hard as he could. His engine died with a sputter. Huh? Oh, come on. What the hell? Car horns blared angrily behind him. In a fury, he pulled his bike over to the side of the road. No matter what he did, the engine refused to turn over. Was the problem with the spark plug, or maybe the battery? Whatever it was, he didn't have time to figure it out now. With tears in his eyes, he left the bike, his companion of 10 years, abandoned on the roadside. He was about to break into a run when he saw a taxi dead ahead letting out a passenger. He hurried to hop into the cab. "Just head for Shibuya Station. I'll let you know exactly where once we get closer." The taxi driver nodded coolly. "Of course, sir." 10 minutes! I need you to get there in 10 minutes. The driver grimaced. "I'm afraid getting there in 10 minutes is a bit. 15 then? Sir, that's still... Look, that's all the time I can afford. Assuming traffic conditions cooperate, sir, then maybe. I can't make any promises." Minorikawa looked at the driver's ID photo above the fare meter. His name was Hachiro Kimizuka. Yeah. He was a middle-aged fellow, looked a little rough around the edges. "Mr. Kimizuka, I choose you for this. You can do it." "Choose me?" "I chose you for this." "Chose me?" "Sir, I'm pretty certain we met by chance." "Okay, sure, I suppose you can phrase it that way. Anyhow, can we get going?" "Right," Kimizuka said with a faint sigh. "I'll see what I can do." The taxi pulled away at a decent clip. Minorikawa's frantic journey had started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home, working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance as the ringing phone broke his train of thought. Why did someone always call right when the words were flowing? If he didn't keep getting interrupted, he probably could wrap this piece up in no time. Be quiet! He pointed at the telephone as he yelled. I'm writing here! But his shouts did nothing to silence the ringing. He didn't have much choice but to pick up. Minorikawa speaking. There was no response. Hello? He hesitated, ready to hang up. Was this a prank call? It's me. It's Toyama. It was Teruo Toyama, the president of Heaven Publishing. A publishing company that puts out both hard-hitting non-fiction books and tabloid-style scandal rags. What the fuck? For some reason, I wanted to put radical. What the fuck is wrong with me? The Invincible Journalist, penned by company president Toyama himself, was a candidate for the Japan Nonfiction Prize. Oh, what do you want? This is about work. I'm already booked pretty full. He'd taken work from Heaven Publishing on several occasions, but the pay was hardly competitive. Lately, he had been turning them down a lot, so he hasn't heard from Toyama in a while. No, this isn't work-related. Then what do you want? I'm kind of pressed for time here, working on some copy. Minorikawa was in no mood to beat around the bush. It seemed like every conversation he had with Toyama went like this. Ah, you're busy. That's good. Busy's good when you're a freelancer. Toyama sounded unusually sympathetic. Minorikawa found it off-putting. I hear sales have been good on your end, he said cautiously, with this month's 4-Star General Gossip and all. 4-Star General Gossip was the monthly magazine, Heaven Publishing's flagship publication. A magazine focused on the private lives of celebrities and politicians. Most of the articles found in its pages are random nonsense, but one out of every 100 or so contains an actual major scoop, making it a difficult outlet to ignore. It had a small circulation and for the most part flew under the radar, but once in a while they'd land some big scoop and sell like crazy. This month's edition had come with a free scratch card, a gimmick that had moved 100,000 copies with ease. 5 winning symbols in a row wins 100,000 yen, was it? Minorikawa asked. A weak, moist sound came from the receiver. Baffled, Minorikawa listened more closely. It came again, then again. Kinda sounded like sobbing. Mr. Toyama, are you crying? There was another soft sob, and yet another. What's going on? Where are you? Minorikawa asked. At the office, Toyama managed. He let out another mewling whimper. What's the matter? It's nothing. Well, it's gotta be something. Come on, what is it? Toyama gave no reply. Mr. Toyama, you still there? Silence. What is it? What happened? Look, doesn't tell me anything. What the hell's going on? Toyama squeaked out a drawn-out whine. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm hanging up now. Minorikawa was about to break the connection when he heard Toyama murmur. The only thing I can do now is die. The taxi's tires squealed as the cab rounded a corner. A shift in momentum made Minorikawa topple over in the back seat. There we go. 10 minutes on the dot, the driver announced. Minorikawa righted himself and looked out the window. Shibuya Station. I knew you could do it, Mr. Imizuka. He told the driver how to get to Heaven Publishing. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes further. Sir, if I may ask, what are you in such a hurry over? Son of a bitch. I beg your pardon? Kimizuka bristled. Not you, the guy who's waiting on me, Minorikawa said. I'm gonna give that son of a bitch a piece of my mind. The multi-tenant building where Heaven Publishing had its offices came into view. The taxi stopped outside. Minorikawa opened the door as he hurriedly reached for his wallet. Then he stopped. What if the worst had come to pass and he needed to take Toyama to the hospital? Should he have the taxi wait here? Or would it be better to call an ambulance? Sir, is there a problem? The driver asked. No, I'm fine. You're a lifesaver. How much do I owe you? Minorikawa paid the fare and got out of the cab. I'm going to swing by the train station, and if I don't get any passengers, I'll come by this way again, Kimizuka said. The taxi pulled away. Once again, he avoided the elevator to favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the third and fourth floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of 4-Star General Gossip on the fourth floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minoru Kawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! Toyama was standing on a stool, about to slip his head through a noose that hung from the ceiling. What the hell are you doing? Minoru Kawa lunged for Toyama. The two men crashed on the floor in a tangled heap. A pile of clutter slid off of a nearby desk and fell on top of them. Minoru Kawa, what are you doing? Toyama whined. Dragging himself back to his feet proved something of a challenge. That's what I'd like to know! Minoru Kawa's fury was mounting. What the hell is all this about? He jabbed an accusing figure at the noose hanging from the ceiling. Oh, that. One of the fluorescent lights died, and I was just swapping it out. Don't you feed me that bull. What was that phone call all about? That business about how the only thing you do is die. Tell me. Ha ha ha! Just a joke! Toyama curled his lip into a faint semblance of a smile. Minoru Kawa wasn't buying it, but he didn't have time to press the issue. A cute little voice echoed through the editing office. Daddy, I'm back from the store! A little girl came in, carrying a length of rubber gas tubing. It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. Teruo Toyama's only daughter, currently 10 years old. The night Hana was born at Shibuya Central Hospital, there was an unexpected firework display outside the window of the maternity ward. As he looked out at the bursting rockets, Teruo decided to name his daughter Hana after the Japanese words for fireworks, Hanabi. Minoru Kawa stared. Toyama, you were planning on using that hose to... He hesitated to end his sentence with gas yourself to death. Well, you know, it's almost gas heater season after all. The hell it is! It was a beautiful sunny April day outside. Well, you know how sensitive I am to the cold. This is getting truly ridiculous. Minoru Kawa got right up to his face. Listen, just explain to me what the heck is going on, okay? He kept his voice low, but his eyes were steely. Hana clung tightly to her father, gazing worriedly up at the two men. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. Keep out! Damn it. Progress further, you need to... I know. Might be hidden within a tip. A man named Junichi Yanagishita shows up in Tama's story at 11:20. And he lets out a sigh, like Toyama's. Try checking the tip for that sigh. Interesting. I am curious to see if this changes anything. At least at the moment. Wait here, I'll be right back. Minoru Kawa was out of the cabin in an instant, running for the building. Once inside, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing the stairs. The same? Looks like it's going to be the same. Door's locked. Alright, yeah. And now I'm at keep out. Okay. So now I got Osawa. Email. Alright. Let's go. Wealth, status, honor. None of these mean anything to me. All I want is a peaceful life. To put worry behind me. To stay calm and serene. To be free of worldly concerns. Free at any cost. lost. A cheery rhythm pumped from the CD player set up against the study wall. It was the latest hit from Ayek Amiki, the songwriter sensation who was blowing up the pop charts. Kenji Osawa reached for the stereo remote on his desktop. He ratcheted the volume up a little louder. He looked like the sort of man who would be more interested in classical music, but in fact he was a huge fan of girl rock popular with middle schoolers. Closing his eyes, he swayed back and forth in time with the music, humming his favorite lyrics under his breath. But his movements faltered. It's no use. Aya's voice usually smoothed whatever ailed him, but today, even she couldn't help. Today, Osawa was a complete wreck, in both body and mind. Mounds of paperwork were scattered across the desktop in his study. All of it about the viruses and vaccines. It had only been a week since he'd returned from a business trip to his company's branch office in America, or US, and he was slated to go back in another 2 weeks' time. There was a truly staggering amount of work he needed to get through while he was at home. He picked up one of the papers, glanced at it aimlessly, then tossed it back onto his desk. Slumping back in his chair, he let out a long, deep sigh. He was in no mental state to work right now. A faint knock at the door barely roused him from his torpor. "Director, may I come in?" It was his vice director, Mamoru Tanaka. "Sure, the door's open." Tanaka came into the study. "I know it's not a great time, but..." Osawa could barely make out his words. He tapped the remote, lowering the volume of the music. Tanaka continued apologetically. "A call came in from the lab. They're hoping for a response to the email they sent yesterday. I'm sure they don't need it today." "Apparently they do need an answer as soon as possible, sir. I did ask them to give you some more time, but..." "I see," Osawa said wearily. "All right, then." Tanaka dipped his head slightly and slipped out of the room. Osawa contemplated his colleague. Tanaka was a man he could truly depend on. He has enough of his own work to do. He didn't need to come here today, but he did. They'd been working in close concert ever since Osawa had gotten back to Japan. Damn. Without Tanaka's support, there was no way he would be in a mindset to do any work at all right now. Sidling up to his computer, Osawa opened his email program and started answering the work-related messages. He reported on his business travel expenses, offered his opinions on capital investments, requested confirmation on current medicinal stockpiles. He worked with bleak detachment. None of this meant anything to him right now. Then a new email appeared in his inbox. The sender was identified simply as A. The subject line read, "1 year ago, South Africa." The message body was blank, and there appeared to be multiple images attached. Ordinarily, Osawa would have deleted a message like this immediately, assuming that it contained some kind of virus. But the words South Africa drew his attention. Could this possibly be related to... Couldn't help but to wonder. For a long moment he hovered the cursor over one of the image files. At last, as if spurred on by the upbeat rhythm in his ears, he double-clicked the mouse. What is this? The grainy photograph showed a large room with dozens or so people laid out in beds. It appeared to be some sort of medical ward. Osawa felt a strange flutter in his chest. He quickly opened another image. This one showed a close-up of one of the patients in his bed. Large red blotches covered his face. A large volume of blood appeared to be dripping from his ears and nostrils. A cold shudder ran up Osawa's spine. What the hell? These symptoms. Osawa opened up the remaining image files. Each new picture showed another of the patients. They all appeared to be teetering on the brink of death. There was no doubt about it. These people were infected with the Uwa virus. Uwa virus 1. The Uwa virus belongs to family Filoviridae. Genus fuck off. Uwa-like virus. It is a member of the same family as the Ebola virus. It causes Uwa virus, fulminant hemorrhag. Fuck off. This is where I die. Fulminant hemorrhagic fever. Sure, it is capable of airborne transmission, although an infected individual cannot pass on the infection before symptoms manifest. The U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, have assigned the virus to Risk Group 4, the classification for the most dangerous infectious agents. But how? Questions tumbled through Osawa's mind. His fingers tapped out a quick message. He'd doubt he'd get a response, but he might as well try. Who are you? Where are these images from? The Uwa virus got its name from a Swahili word for flower. The virus is roughly 90 nanometers to 110 nanometers in diameter and 500 nanometers to 700 nanometers long. Because of its pronounced sickle-like shape, it is sometimes known as the sickle of death. It possesses a viral envelope, the surface of which is coated with spike-shaped protein protuberances. Yeah, 1 nanometer equals 1 billionth of a meter. Supposedly, this was based on the fact that the propagated form of the virus resembled the petals of a flower. Despite the flowery name, however, the disease was anything but pretty. Uwa didn't just mean flower, it also meant to kill. And as the name suggested, the virus had a mortality rate of 100% in those it managed to infect. Because most details regarding the Uwa virus have been suppressed, cases of Uwa infection are largely unknown to the world at large. Because all patients known to be infected with the virus on official record have died within a short time frame, the mortality rate is given as 100%. As the incidence of known cases grows, the number may drop below 100%, but the mortality rate will likely remain extraordinarily high. Ugh. Moreover, there was a very short incubation period between infection, the onset of symptoms, and death. Inhaled viral particles can spread from the lungs to the lymph nodes and from there disperse throughout the body. The virus propagates in several places, including liver cells and macrophages, a component of the immune system, and destroys the endothelial cells within blood vessels. Upon reaching the brain, it forms a neural sludge of blood mixed with other bodily fluids. Within roughly 12 hours, bleeding would set in throughout the body, everywhere but the bones and muscles, with lethal results. Due to its incredibly high mortality rate, the disease's very existence has been kept hidden from public knowledge. Osawa's computer chimed to signify the arrival of a new message. The sender was A. He hurried to open the message. Once again... Once again, subject line read 1 year ago, South Africa. Your crimes. Osawa stared at those 2 words. My crimes? That left him only with further questions. He looked again at the images from the previous email. What makes any of this my crimes? He could see that the patient's bleeding was severe. He estimated that several hours had passed since the onset of the disease. It wouldn't be long before their lives were cut short. To feel that agony, that suffering, and then to perish. Am I to blame for that? Another faint knock came at the door. Darling, do you have a moment? It was his wife, Aya. Is it just I or Iba? Yes, come in. I don't know how to say that. I think it's just I. I stepped into the study, the room filled with the scent of her perfume. Have you reconsidered the whole America thing? She asked. This again, Osawa thought sullenly to himself. Please, he said, can we not discuss this right now? If not now, then when? You know this isn't a decision to just make on your own. Oh, you know this isn't a decision just to make on your own. On his latest business trip, a major American pharmaceutical firm had attempted to headhunt him, asking him to join them and be among the top researchers in the world. The money and prestige held no interest for him, and he was reluctant to turn his back on Okoshi Pharmaceutical after his many years of service. The pharmaceutical company for which Kenji Osawa works, it is a major corporation with a solid sales network both domestically and internationally, and an annual turnover of 1 trillion yen. Fuck, why am I always so tired? It holds patents for several medications that are in demand worldwide and is influential at the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare and other political institutions. The company employs roughly 7,000 people, including 600 researchers. Nonetheless, he was intrigued by the offer. It would mean the chance to conduct his virus research in a much better funded environment. Taking the job would necessitate relocating to the US, however. When he'd mentioned the possibility of immigrating to Ai, she'd shot the idea down on the spot. Her opposition was understandable. Aya's father, Uguru Makino, was a member of the Okoshi Pharmaceuticals board of directors. No way was he going to let Osawa jump ship to another company. Darling, please. I drew in closer to him. Think about it from my perspective. If you leave for America, what am I supposed to tell my father? He got so used to it, that grating whine of hers. Have you considered what might happen to Oshi if you leave, dear? We can discuss that once all this is finished. Osawa kept his voice at as level as he could. You do remember that you're a director, right? I said. You have responsibilities. Stop thinking about yourself so much. With a sour look, I turned and departed. Well, he had known that moving to America would never be a simple matter, regardless of what his wife thought about it. There was another reason, however, the antiviral agent that he had developed at Okoshi. A therapeutical drug used to treat viral infections. Examples include the drugs used against influenza and HIV. These treatments do not eliminate the infection, rather, they simply inhibit the development of the disease. There are still many issues with such drugs, including the risk that treated viruses possess or develop a resistance that makes the treatment ineffective. Academic institutions and pharmaceutical companies worldwide devote tremendous resources to further advancing the field of antiviral medicine. After the Ua virus was discovered, infectious disease research facilities worldwide had thrown themselves into a top-secret effort to develop a vaccine. Vaccines function by safely introducing a harmless or antuinated fuck! A lesser version of the virus or other pathogen into the human body. This triggers the body to produce antibodies against the pathogen, making it difficult for the dangerous version to take hold. But Makino had ordered Osawa to work on creating an antiviral agent, not a vaccine. A vaccine immunized the subject in order to prevent infection in the first place. Conversely, an antiviral agent could be used to treat patients already infected. It was a so-called wonder drug for combating the virus itself. Treating such a drug was far easier said than done. Creating such a drug. Developing the antiviral would have been a long, arduous road. Only after years of research had Osawa's team succeeded in identifying a substance that might qualify as an antiviral agent for UA. In theory, it was administered during the virus's initial stages, when 100% recovery could be attained. Data also suggested an 80% survival rate for patients treated shortly after the onset of symptoms. But there was a fatal flaw with the new antiviral agent. The side effects on the body were unusually potent. If it was administered in amounts beyond a certain threshold, it was linked to life-threatening complications. For a time, the research was at an impasse. It had seemed that the drug had to be administered in high volume to combat the explosive propagation of the UA virus. But then Osawa had received some fortuitous news. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals' nanotechnology branch had engineered a cutting-edge device known as the DDS. Technology created and/or operated on an extremely small scale, often measured in nanometers. There are 1 billionth nanometers in a meter. Some nanotech devices are literally regulated on the atomic level. The possibilities are ever expanding to practical fields such as medicine and materials science. The United States is among the world's leaders in the push for research and development. And then the DDS, acronym for Drug Delivery System, such a system administering ultra-microscopic drug capsules to a target area of the body. Osawa had jumped on it immediately. By administering his antiviral agent with the nanotech DDS, he was able to use smaller amounts of the drug to quash the UA virus with precision. Because the DDS can be used to deliver a drug with pinpoint precision, and only where it is needed, it can greatly reduce the side effects of even a very potent drugs. The DDS developed by Okoshi Pharmaceutical utilizes advanced high-tech polymers, which ensure that the capsules containing the drug are fully broken down and eliminated from the body roughly 1 week after administration. The procedure was a huge success. There was a marked increase in the drug's efficiency, along with the expected decrease in adverse side effects. A pharmaceutical is said to have a positive effect if its use brings about the desired results when treating a medical condition, but many drugs create unwanted or unforeseen adverse effects as well. Given the extreme complexity of most drugs' interactions with the human body, nearly any medicine can have both positive and negative effects. The effects have been confirmed via animal testing on monkeys, and now the antiviral was ready for the final development stages, clinical trials on humans. Experiments involving drugs or medical techniques tested on animals to confirm their safety before they are used on humans. The 1964 Declaration of Helsinki, which lays out ethical standards for human experimentation, advocates responsible animal testing, but many animal rights advocates regard such testing as a form of animal cruelty. Clinical trials. When a new drug is being prepared for government approval after it has been tested on animals, it must pass tests on humans, clinical trials, that evaluate its safety and suitability. Such tests are frequently conducted on both patient and healthy individuals. In Japan, the development of new drugs is often hindered by insufficient legal infrastructure for conducting clinical trials, resulting in a smaller knowledge base and fewer opportunities for testing. But the very existence of this new wonder drug was still a secret. No doubt Okoshi's leadership would be reluctant to see Osawa, the drug's lead researcher, transferred to another company. Still, it wasn't completely out of the realm of possibility. Once the antiviral was out of development and announced to the public, Osawa would be free and clear. For that very reason, he was loath to cause any friction over the drug right now. This anxiety only magnified his concern about the email he just received. Osawa called up Tanaka over the intercom. There's something I want to show you. Could you come in here? He needed a second opinion, and Tanaka could be relied upon. Osawa opened the door the moment Tanaka knocked. He looked around before ushering his vice director inside. What's this about, sir? This. Osawa showed him one of the images. Tanaka's face went pale. It can't be. Tanaka clearly recognized the symptoms of the Uwa virus. Any idea what this is about? Osawa asked. No, sir. These images were just emailed to me. The subject line says 1 year ago, South Africa. That would put it around the same time as the most recent run of infections, wouldn't it, sir? But that information isn't... Tanaka trailed off. Osawa nodded. The thing I don't understand is why these pictures were sent to me. Osawa opened the other email from A. The second message I got from you says that these pictures are my crimes. I'll look into this on my end, sir, Tanaka said. He hesitated uncomfortably. Sir, just to make sure, Are you asking about what I think you're asking about? Osawa said. Tanaka gave a slight nod. Understood, Osawa said. Don't worry. I won't trouble you. I appreciate that, sir. Visibly relieved, Tanaka left the study. Osawa brought up a folder marked Uwa virus on his screen. Within the folders were enlarged images of the virus itself. He double-clicked one of the images. It blew up on the monitor to reveal the pathogen in intricate details. A specimen of the Uwa virus was approximately 100 nanometers in diameter. 10,000ths of them in line would take up barely a millimeter. But a single tiny virion, upon entering the human body, could become 2,000 in an hour. That spread of multiplication was nothing short of astonishing. Even the Ebola virus had a typical incubation period of 7 days or so before infectees developed symptoms. A virus of the family, that causes Ebola hemorrhagic fever. Currently, 5 characterized species are known: Thai forest, Sudan, Reston, Zaire, and Bundibugyo. Ebola is widely known for its high mortality rate, 53% for the Sudan form, 88% for the Zaire form. But the Reston variant, discovered in monkeys that had been brought into the U.S., has displayed no pathogenicity in humans. For influenza, it was 1 or 2, but the onset of the Uwa virus happened in a mere 12 hours. Osawa revealed an image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanisms. It was a fascinating sight, no matter how many times he looked at it. Viruses existed to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no driving logic, nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, that fact led a certain air of mystery. If viruses had emotions, how would they feel about their lives? He had thrown himself into virus research in search of answers to questions like that, answers that no man could truly know. His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. He was just happy for the chance to play around with the Uwa day after day. Another email arrived in his inbox. Osawa frowned his brow as he scanned the message. Emergency alert. Come to Heaven Publishing ASAP. If not, someone is going to die. Minoru Minorikawa. Heaven Publishing? Minoru Minorikawa? Osawa wasn't familiar with either of those names. He wondered if it was related to the mysterious emails he'd received earlier, or maybe the sender had some information about the kidnapping? The fact that the message had been signed with a real name instead of a pseudonym, along with its obvious urgency, certainly gave it an air of truth. And the word "someone is going to die" filled him with a wave of panic. Maria! There was no time to waste. In a rush, he found directions to Heaven Publishing on his computer, then slipped out of the house. It took a good while to find his way to the multi-tenant building. The signs in front showed that Heaven Publishing occupied the third and fourth floors. Osawa took the elevator to the third floor. Peeked inside the office, there only to find the entire place empty. The fourth floor was likewise deserted. Hmm? There was a rope dangling from the ceiling, tied off into a noose. It all seemed rather sinister, but Osawa had no idea what it meant. He waited a good 30 minutes, anxious the whole time. The half hour turned to an hour, and then to 2. It seemed that no one was going to turn up. Osawa headed back to the third floor. He decided to wait there for 1 more hour. By now, he was committed. The extra hour turned into 2. Exhausted, he dozed off in his chair, and when he came to, it was close to sundown. Sunset already? He gazed out the window, and a haze of sleep still clinging to his mind. He had the feeling he was forgetting something important. The sight of the sun, quietly sitting over the cityscape, made the crisis of life feel strangely distant. The time of peace and quiet he had longed for was right here. Escape from reality. A mysterious email told Osawa to go to Heaven Publishing, but there was nobody there. The email was sent by Minorikawa, of course, at around 11:30. He blasted out an email to all the reporters he knew, but in his hurry he screwed up one of the addresses, which, coincidentally, delivered a copy of the message to Osawa. Obviously, this never would have happened if Minorikawa hadn't rushed out that email. I don't even think I made it to 11:30 for Minorikawa. Yeah, I have to figure out the keep out. I doubt this is going to change anything. But let's find out. Give me just a second. Osawa hurriedly closed the mail program. Even if it was nothing more than just some sick prank, it wasn't anything he wanted his family to see. Especially not I. Alright, come in. But Osawa turned to see that Ai had already let herself into the study. The sharp sting of her perfume made him scrunch up his face for a moment. Okay, yeah, there we go. Figured. There we go. So now all that is left is Tama. And Tama appears to have connections to Minorikawa and Kano. Handing out samples. Here we go. The man in the cat suit. Look at him! Look at him down there! It's so hot. It's so hot in this thing. Way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else in the street looks nice and cool, but here I am getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see. I can barely breathe, for that matter. But hey, what can I do? No. Oh, I am so thirsty. Some iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm gonna pass out from dehydration at this rate. I may as well admit it. I underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume could be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this sort of job. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on those superhero team shows. Like, can you imagine doing action scenes with something like that? Heck, all I'm doing is standing here and I'm this close to calling it quits. But I can't. I need to work. I need the money. This is no time to be a wuss. If I give up on this, what else am I possibly going to do? Check out the revolutionary new diet drink, Burning Hammer! I thrust a free sample toward passerby, while shouting as loud as I can. A free portion, usually quite small, of a product given out to consumers as a sales gimmick, allowing them to test the quality and the effect of the cosmetic or health product prior to purchase, frequently referred to as a trial size or freebie version of the product. In addition to passing out free samples on the street, some shops also include free samples with purchased products. Please note that simply taking a product without paying for it in order to test it out is theft. Don't do it. Come on, give it a try! Oh, it's no use. People just walk by, one after the other. They avoid looking at the sample. It's been like this ever since I started standing here. What gives? You'd figure at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free! But I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. And then this whole miserable experience will have all been for nothing. Just drink this and watch the pounds melt away! No exercising or dieting necessary! You can hear the desperation in my own voice. Just burn, burn, burn! Burn those pounds away! They're giving me cold looks now. They probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload dodgy product. It's that simple, folks. You just drink the weight away. I guarantee it. Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me, too. In other words, it seems extremely dubious or suspicious. The word scam, referring to a type of dishonest scheme, is actually of unknown origin. Several folk etymologies have been proposed, including that it comes from a simple shortening of scandalous misdeeds. But these claims have little evidence to support them. Losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. But still, free it's free. You'd think I'd be able to give one or two away. It's not like I'm not trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with one bottle. Alright, I'm going to give this bottle away to the next person I see, no matter what. I close my eyes and gather my determination. I just need to get started, and the momentum will build from there. Alright, eyes open. There are two people walking in my direction. Wait, two? Oh no, which one do I pick? If I keep waffling? They're both going to pass me by. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which one of these guys looks more likely to take it? Clutching the free sample in my fury fist. Try to force it off on the disheveled fellow to my right. Clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I try to force it off to the disheveled fellow to my right. To my surprise, he takes it. Huh? What's this? He asks, lifting an eyebrow as he looks at the bottle. I flap my fuzzy arms and strike a cute pose as I launch into the product pitch. It's Burning Hammer, the #1 new diet drink. Please, give it a try. No thanks, the man says. I'm good. I keep my arms held wide open and pretend I didn't hear that. Look, he says, I'm in a hurry. You should give this to someone else. He tries to hand the sample back to me, but I hold my ground. For a few moments, we are at a silent impasse. Maybe he's weirded out by my cat alter ego holding its freeze frame pose, because eventually he looks away, slips the bottle into his pocket, and walks off. I did it! I finally got someone to take one! But there are still so many samples left. My brief surge of excitement dies before it can even fully take hold. I wonder how the other mascot is doing right about now. There's a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock at the Nokane building. Huh? Looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of samples. I don't get it. How come nobody is taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? I look at the clock. It's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I'll need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. I'd love to take the costume off, but then I'd have to carry it. Samples I haven't given out are almost too heavy as it is. Oh well. I might not have gotten results, but I tried my best. I sure hope they don't withhold my pay or anything. Hey, what gives? You got that many left? The chicken speaks with a female voice. Yeah, I reply sheepishly. Nobody seems to want to take mine. Well, I mean, are you looking for the right targets? Hmm? Like groups of girls or bored-looking older ladies. Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know? Well, I hadn't even considered that now that she says it. I haven't even been considering that. Now that she says it, it seems so obvious. This is a diet drink after all. Of course I'm not gonna have any luck trying to voice it off on random guys. Well, whatever, the chicken says. Here, give me the samples you've got left. I hand over my samples, and the chicken dumps the whole lot into her basket. I'll drink whatever's left so they don't find out that you didn't pass them out, she says. Huh? Wait, like, all of them? Yeah, all of them. The chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. These may just be sample-sized bottles, but still, they add up to a lot. I can feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offer. Thank you so much! That's a huge help! I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Leaving the station behind, we head down Center Guide, towards the Nokane building. A multi-tenant office building in Udagawacho. Located in Center Gai, Shibuya's downtown district. In addition to hosting the weight loss drink sales demo, the building is also home to the foreign capital protection firm Japan Cellcom, the IT mainstay Shibuya on-net Sun, video game developer Shindei Tradco, the Strike Back Labs, publisher of the monthly magazine Science Strikes Back, along with many other businesses. Fuck. The Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held there this afternoon. The job's supposed to pay 10,000 yen for the day, but if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they've promised another 10,000 yen on top of that. I need to make sure I sell those 100 bottles. I need that 20,000 yen, and I need it ASAP. We arrive at the Nokane building, a rundown multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where the Burning Hammer sales demo is taking place. There are already about 50 seats set out. I wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. A stage has been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing, sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers. Hurry up and take that thing off. The chicken flaps her wings as she speaks. It's kinda early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving. Now that she mentions it, I realize I'm pretty hungry myself. Demo's not starting for another 2 hours. I can't win a war against my stomach for that long. The chicken and I head to the waiting room where they set out our lunches for us. Mind getting my back real quick? The chicken asks. She arches her back toward me. Apparently she can't reach her own zipper. Oh, sure. Give me just a sec. I try to unzip the back of the chicken costume, but my own suit's thick, fuzzy figures have a hard time of it. What's the holdup? Come on, I'm roasting in this thing. Hurry up and get it off me. I've almost got it. It's just awkward with these mitts. Finally, I get a hold of the zipper and yank it. Downward. A girl emerged from the chicken as if the chicken itself were an egg. Woo! I'm alive! Her red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once, she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Sorry, but would you mind getting me too? I ask. Yeah, okay. I turn my back to the girl. I hear metal clacking behind me. At long last, I'm about to be free from this 5-ton fursuit. Hmm? Huh? The girl murmurs awkwardly. Huh? What? A spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong, I ask. Yeah, that's a no-go. Zipper's busted. What? Yeah, sorry, this thing ain't coming off. What? My vision goes dark. No, no, no! I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap! Oh well. We can talk to the boss about it when he gets back, the girl says. I mean, it's not like we can just cut it off you with scissors or anything. She sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair. I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible. All I can do is clench my fist in impotent rage. But anyway, good work out there today, the girl continues. I'm Chiriko Otsugi, by the way. You can just call me Chiri. She smiles as she introduces herself. I mean, I am a pretty cheery gal, after all. She breaks into a hearty gawple. Oh, sure, I say. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, for sure. So I guess you're not going to be able to eat lunch in the get-up, huh? Huh? God, that's right. What should I do? Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me. Huh? I'll eat both lunches myself. Cherry didn't even wait for me to reply before reaching for my lunch. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste, she says. She makes it sound like leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I can feel my appetite stirring all the more as she devours my meal with a satisfied grin on her face. A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. It's just a cheap, little prepackaged box lunch, but right now it looks like a feast. So what's your name? Cherry asks. Her cheeks are still packed with rice. My name? Yeah. Oh, it's, As I struggle to think of an answer, my eyes alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutched between Cherry's chopsticks. The yellow slab of slightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked. Come on, what's your name? Oh, right, Tama. It's Tama. Huh? You mean like the famous cat? Well, ain't that fitting? Cherry chortles and stuffs the piece of tamagoyaki into her mouth and takes a big swig of iced tea. I am beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on those lunch boxes until I'm full to bursting. Heck, even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. I'm so thirsty, I'm starting to get all dizzy. Maybe I really am getting dehydrated. This isn't good. If I don't do something, I'm going to pass out before the sales demo even starts. And then, I remember something. The zipper down my back might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way I'd at least be able to eat and drink stuff. Alright, I decide to grab the head in both hands and yank it upwards with all my might. Rock my head back and forth good and hard. Sure. I decide to grab the head in both hands and yank it upward with all my might. Oh, come on! No matter how hard I pull, it won't come off. Ow! A dull pain throbs at the back of my head. Did I smack it against something at some point? Cheery flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. I try pulling again, refusing to give up. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body. I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know? Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into it, this thing. Well, don't let it get you down, Cherry says. Here, drink some of this. She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some of the tea into it. In a fever of thirst, I jam the plastic straw through the mascot costume's mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. I suck it for all I'm worth. I sucked, and I suck, and I suck. My body rejoices as the moisture returns to it like rain coming to the desert. And thus, I revive. Actually, It kind of does feel like I'm coming back to life. Oh, thank you so much. I'm never going to forget this as long as I live. With tears welling up in my eyes, I clutch Cheery's hands in my fuzzy mitts. Hey, I'm not the kind of person to abandon someone in need, you know, she replies. An embarrassed grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying that bottle around with you anyway, I ask. Oh, that's because I make my own protein juice. In Japan, the word protein is frequently used to refer to a powder health food supplement that contains vitamins and minerals as well as a protein component. It is dissolved in milk or another liquid to create a drink. A protein diet typically involves drinking a glass of this in place of a meal. Drinking it in place of tea would assuredly lead to weight gain. Protein juice? Never heard of it. I heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you'll lose weight. So yeah, I kind of need to keep it. Given Cheery's sort of, well, chubby frame, I don't think the protein's been working so great for her. I've been trying all sorts of stuff, but right now protein is totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though? Cheery casts her eyes at the samples of burning hammer on the table. It's like totally bogus. Huh? Bogus? That's a surprise. Well, yeah, Cheery says. You've got to exercise if you want to burn body fat. The best way to burn fat is to engage in steady, low-intensity aerobic exercise. After roughly 20 minutes of such exercise, the body burns through its available blood sugar, and the brain sends signals to have fat brought into the bloodstream. This is how fat is burned. Anaerobic exercise, which leaves you panting and breathless, is not effective. She smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking in more calories. Huh, didn't she just say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? Keep that thought to myself. I mean, that'd be as ridiculous as all-you-can-eat Kobe beef, she added. She shakes her head seriously. I'm not sure about using all-you-can-eat anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. But, again, I keep the thought to myself. But hey, job's a job, Cheery says after a moment, perking up again. They tell me it's to sell this junk. I'll sell it. A sudden wailing comes from the other side of the door. Please, just give me time. I swear I'll get it back to you. What the heck? Cheery says. Is that the boss? Oh. I nod. That's definitely Mr. Yanagishita's voice. He's the guy who hired me. Sliding up alongside Cheery, I very quietly open the door and take a peek inside. Yo, are those the delinquents? Mr. Yanagishita is down on his hands and knees, begging, while 2 uncouth-looking men glower at him. Just a little more time, that's all I ask, he pleads. Once I sell this stuff, I can pay you back. I see a tiny bottle of burning hammer in his hand. Just a little more, mimics the middle-aged fellow. I just gotta sell this. We've heard enough of that out of you. Yeah, the younger man sneers. We ain't giving you any more time, so quit asking. But I really just need a little longer this time. Please, you gotta believe me. From the looks of things, Mr. Yanagishita is dealing with some loan sharks. Though it seems obvious that this term refers to a toothy predator of the deep, the word shark in this case actually has its origins in the older Germanic word meaning parasite, or someone who preys on others. The same word gave rise to the term pool shark and card shark. In the case of loan shark, though, the initial mental image seems quite appropriate. And the 2 thugs are clearly in no mood for his continued groveling. Cheery and I exchange a glance. It's probably best if we don't go out there right now. But now I'm really worried. Am I actually going to get paid for this gig? As I was pondering that, one of the men grabs Yanagishita by the nape of his neck and drags him to his feet. Come with us, pal. Take you someplace you can, work off your debts. Say what? Mr. Yanagishita wails. The 2 men drag him away. This is a bad end. Huh? Guess he's gone then, Cheery says. He's already started to pack up her things. Wait, what are you doing? I ask. Going home. Not much point sticking around. Going home? I mean, the demo sure ain't happening now. Anyhow, it was nice working with you. See ya. Moments later, Cheery is out the door. Now what do I do? I've been left here all by myself. More or less, a total loss. Bad end. Shift's over. Our poor feline friend isn't going to get paid now that some debt collector showed up and dragged her boss away. If someone hadn't told the thugs how to get to the Nokane building, they probably wouldn't have caught Yanagashita. The right decision happens at 11:15, but who has to make it? I know. Thanks, man. Sorry to bug you. Damn it. There we go. Here we go. Stuck in the cat costume. I decide to rock my head back and forth, good and hard. What? Give! It won't come free no matter how hard I try to buck it off. To make things worse, now I've got this dull, throbbing pain in the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that recently. She flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? Try to get this head off. Refusing to give up. That ain't gonna work. Womp womp. Go ahead and do the other one too. I decide to ask Cheery. Sorry, would you mind helping me pull my... Ow! I feel a dull, throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that recently. Cheery flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. That ain't gonna work. The thing's attached to the body. There we go. Alright, now I just... stuck here. Look. And thus, I revive! Oh, this cute little fucking cat. So I guess in the middle of me just pressing X and all of this text, I'll tell you probably a fucking too much information story, because why the fuck not? You can skip like a minute from now probably and be fine. But I bit my fucking cheek like 4 or 5 days ago. And just today, never mind. I was gonna say. And then just fucking today, right before I started recording, I was fucking eating Oreos just real quick, just as like a mini little dessert, and I felt a bump, and I was just like, ah, fuck. The part where I bit my cheek became a blood blister. And I was just like, oh, well, fuck. Now I'm either going to have to now I'm gonna like bite down on it accidentally one day and ruin one of my meals because it'll just taste like fucking blood, or I can just get it over with and just fucking pop it now and deal with the bloodshed. So I popped it. What the fuck else you gonna do? I'm not about to wake up in the morning, chow down on some fucking shrimp Alfredo, only to have the fucking taste of iron ruin my food. That's not fucking happening. Anyway, The door flies open suddenly, and a loud voice belts out. Hold it right there!
I whirl around in a panic and see an odd-looking man standing in the doorway. It's Junichi Yanagashita. He's the man who hired us. I heard that, Chiri. Don't you go calling my product a joke. That's disrespectful. Chiri gave him an apologetic look. Whoops. Sorry about that. You should be. But whatever. If you really have doubts, have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagashita pulls a bottle of burning hammer from his coat pocket. Sister products include Del Sweat, Cellulose, Better Sweater, Dom Pepperon, Power Burn Z, Mr. Thin, Nega Chow, and Super Nega Chow. At first glance, it looks like some kind of energy supplement, but the cheapo label gives an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, says Yanagashita. Give it a go. Chiri reaches out to take it. But no sooner does she grab the bottle than Mr. Yanagashita shouts out once more. Wait, hold on! What? Chiri squirts. What gives? You two. You're both good. Stomach-wise? Stomach-wise? Yeah. Drinking this stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So just make sure you eat or drink something beforehand. Don't worry. It doesn't matter what, really. Wait, nasty problems? Yeah! Such as what, I asked. I'd rather not say. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good. I just had lunch, Chiri says. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet. But on the other hand, I've been guzzling as much iced tea as I can to fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. I may as well drink it. And for a penny and for a pound, and hey, maybe it'll help me lose some weight. This stuff. Sure. Might as well try it. In for a penny, in for a pound. And hey, maybe I'll lose some weight. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. It was an unexpected smell, like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulped down the liquid inside. Huh? Doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. What the heck? Feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy. Way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated in curry powder. Before I knew it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagashita asks. Like a whole lot. You are, aren't ya? Why does he sound so happy about that? That right there is the magic of burning hammer at work. Chiri and I are at a loss for words. Burning hammer? Burning hammer! Drink all you want and just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? Stop me!
This is just so stupid spicy it makes you sweat, Chiri blurts out.
Blunt and to the point. I approve.
Yeah? Well, I guess you're right, Yanagashita says. He hangs his head. What is in this stuff? I ask. I can still feel my tongue tingling. In fact, my body is almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked I even forget to get properly angry. So it's this health food product that got imported from America a few years back, Yanagashita explains. Well, the import agency went out of business long after and couldn't move the merch, so I bought up the whole lot. Everything they had in their storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. Chiri arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you? She asks. 1 million yen for 300 bottles. I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot. That's roughly 3,333 yen a piece. Each one of these teensy little bottles costs over 3,000 yen? You got ripped off, man, Chiri says. You really think so? Huh, yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head, even more despondently. This is the sort of thing you'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch, Chiri moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops? Really? Mr. Yanagashita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually.
Don't let it get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagashita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. I try to awake sigh. A deep breath empathetically exhaled, often a sign of disappointment, distress, or unrequited love. Also a way of expressing the anxiety brought on by massive debt. One has no money to give, only sighs. Right around now, Minorikawa is in the company of someone inclined to sigh this way. Fucking really? You know what? No. I'll do that later.
I'm not sure I follow, Cherry says.
How much you selling these bottles for, boss? 50,000 yen per bottle. Selling all 300 bottles would yield proceeds of 4.5 million yen, after deducting expenses such as the cost of the product, rental fees for the venue, pay for the part-timers, and printing flyers. This yields a net profit of roughly 2.5 million yen. It's undoubtful that anyone would pay 15,000 yen for a single small bottle, but you never know. There could be a few housewives or young women out there who'd fork out that much in the name of weight loss. A terrifying thought.
What? Cherry's jaw practically hit the floor. Mine does the same.
No way. Nuh-uh, no freaking way. Calling the price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice. Well, look, selling it at that price is my only option. I need to cover my costs.
Anyway, please, I need you both to work your hardest.
Apparently, he's committed to this insane course of action.
Okay, Cherry replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, but I can't blame her. As for me, I can't. I can't just sit there and not speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir? Sorry, can't hear you. Nagashita plays dumb. Fine, I repeat myself. This is a scam, isn't it? He tilts his head to one side. Something's wrong with my ear. Undeterred, I repeat myself once more. This is a scam, isn't it? Tears are welling up in Mr. Yanagashita's eyes. Look, kid, he says huskily. Listen up. He's clearly struggling to maintain his calm. You're in the grown-ups world now. I nod a few times. But a scam is still a scam, right? I say. You! Sir? What's your name again? Oh, it's Tama. Okay, Tama. Why are you still wearing your costume? What? He's straight up dodging my question. Oh well, at least I tried. I explained the situation with my suit. Wow. So, then are you going to do the sales demo like that? Well, if I can't take the mascot costume off, I don't have much of a choice, do I? No, that won't do it all. I hired you to be a model. If you're wearing that thing, then what's the point? I'm at a loss for words. The point is exactly what he's missing. It's not like I'm wearing this getup because I want to. How about we just cut it off for you? Cheery says with a big grin. She pulls out a massive pair of scissors out of her bag. The blades make an unsettling snip-snip sound as she waggles them in my face. Whoa! No, you can't do that! Yanagashita exclaims. That suit's a rental! I don't want to have to reimburse them for the thing. Well, then what am I supposed to do? I ask. He looks at me uncertainly. Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down? Cherry suggests. Before helping herself to the rest of my lunch. Oh, hey, good idea, Yanagashita says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down, at least. Just try to grin and bear it until then, Tama. Well, I guess that's that, then. I'm sure we'll get it off eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo. That's the spirit. I really need you to be my model. A model, huh? It's flattering, but I can't help but wonder, would I be any good at that? Well, this is no time to be timid. I need that money, no matter what. My troubles all started earlier this morning. I was at a knick-knack shop on Center Gai. I had happened to pass by, and I spotted a red necklace on display in the storefront. and I got this weird sensation when I saw it. You could maybe call it deja vu? Something like that. It was as if I'd been drawn to it somehow. This was mine. I was sure of it. I wanted it. No, I needed to make it mine. As soon as I possibly could. That's how strong the feeling was. The price was 40,000 yen. I checked my wallet repeatedly, but I only had 20,000 on me. Nonetheless, I needed to have it. There was just one question. How? Somehow I managed to drag myself away from the shop. Just a few minutes earlier, I ran into Mr. Yanagashita. Hey, a voice said out of nowhere. If you want, I can pay you 10,000 yen. 10,000 for a day's work. Found myself staring at this frumpy middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director Junichi Yanagashita, Yamato Health Foods Company, Limited. I'm in a real bind here. Need some extra help. Would you mind coming with me? I'm begging you. Just one day. He seemed pretty sketchy. As much as I needed the money for that necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and tried to walk off. Please! Please! Yanagashita grabbed me by the hand. Watch it, pal, I snapped. Hands off, or I start shouting for help. Please, it's not like that. Just hear me out. Look, I'm in a hurry. Please! Please! Well, all this fucking talking is hurting my throat. Knock it off! I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand from his grip. Oof! Oof! Yanagashita whirled around the air and fell into the bushes. Whoa, where'd that come from? He gasped. His eyes were wide as saucers. You a martial artist or something? No, I think that was just a fluke. The truth was, I was surprised at how well I pulled off that escape move. Okay then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand? No way. No, I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. Ow, 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 ow. I guess. The least I could do was help the guy get to his feet. Look, why are you hounding me so much? Please, don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who could possibly do this job for me. I let out a sigh, but my interest was admittedly piqued. What kind of job? I need a sales rep for my health supplement. Want you to do PR as a dieting success story for my product. Just looking. You have the body of an actress. Sales are gonna be through the roof. Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem as fishy as I had initially suspected. Alright, maybe I'm interested, I said. There's just one thing. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it. I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000... Alright then. If you can sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in another 10,000 as a bonus. How's that sound? I certainly couldn't think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. You've got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head. Yes! Yanagashita jumped for joy. What about your hip? Huh? Oh, yeah, it's better now. All better. Fixed itself just now. Yanagashita bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look. Look, I'm sorry, he added hurriedly. I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you, honest. I was just scouting for talent, and I saw you, and well... Was trusting this guy really the best idea? I was starting to worry, just a little bit, about whether he'd actually pay up. Look, I've staked everything on this sales demo later today, he went on. This is the make-or-break opportunity of a lifetime. Sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million yen. 2 million. Yanagashita's tone is taking on a feverish intensity. If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy am I up a creek without a paddle. How did you even get into a situation like that, I asked. He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes. Because even if he knows he hasn't no chance of winning. Sometimes a man just has to stand and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand. He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest. Anyway, real quick, could you put this on? Mr. Yamagashita briskly rummaged through his bindle, then thrust a cat costume out toward me. What? Here? Yeah, before the sales event, you gotta hand out some samples. The burning hammer in the sample bottles is cut 10 parts in one with water. Even so, it is intensely spicy, and drinking it on an empty stomach is sure to cause gastrointestinal distress, or even make the drinker black out. It's hard to believe that a sample of something so dangerous would win over any customers, but you never know. There could be housewives or young women out there who accept such a risk in the name of weight loss. Another terrifying thought. The job's already started, you know? And with that, Mr. Yanagashita went about getting me into the mascot suit. What? Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. Still, if I'm going to get my hands on that necklace, I have to take the chance that this job will pay out. There's a knock at the door. Huh? Who could that be? Mr. Yanagashita asks. We got a customer already? He opens the door and heads outside. No way is that a customer, Cheery says. I mean, right? She guzzles from her 2-liter bottle of iced tea. No one's gonna buy something as sketchy as this. I guess not, I agree. But the only thing I can really say about Burning Hammer is that it's spicy. Anyhow, Cheery says, wanna get something to eat? But you just ate lunch. 2 lunches. I know. I know this I know this amazing Chinese buffet. Wanna come along? Because I am going to dominate. Huh? Someday, I plan to chow my way through every item on their menu. Before I can respond, I hear a sudden outburst in the hallway. What the hell are you thinking? Selling something like this? The voice sounds harsh and strained. It's quickly followed by another voice, Mr. Yanagashita, sounding desperately apologetic. Well, be fair now. I did ask whether or not you were on an empty stomach. Must have given someone some burning hammer, huh? I say. Cheery nods. Yeah, maybe. That's weird. Did he really get a customer this early? Yeah, isn't the sales demo not until 1 o'clock? There were more sounds from the hallway. Cheery gets a weird look on her face. Whoa, what? What the heck? What's going on? Die! Suddenly, a man kicks down the door, bursts in shrieking like a madman. His face is flushed. Steam is erupting from every pore. Cheery and I can only stare, frozen with bewilderment as he rampages through the room, smashing everything in sight. In a matter of moments, the venue is completely totaled. Then the guy simply charges back out the door. No chance of holding a sales demo now. Why'd this have to happen? Who was that guy? Why'd he have to do this? A tragedy. Demo postponed. There wasn't much Tama and Cheery could do to stop this strange intruder from destroying the sales event, but why did he show up in the first place, especially at this hour? The man in question has a clear choice to make at 11:30. The poor Tama's fate hinges on what he decides. No, I'd better not drink this stuff. It's not even partially appetizing. Particularly appetizing. Cheery twists off the cap. Bottoms up, she declares, and proceeds to noisily gulp her bottle down. Doesn't seem like she minds it. Maybe it's actually pretty tasty after all? Huh? Aren't you gonna have some too? Mr. Yamagashita flashes a look at me. I guess I might as well try just a little bit. Stick the bottle of Burning Hammer into my mascot mouth. And there it goes. It's the same. Wait, is this that stuff that gives you visions or something? What? I remember a rumor I heard not too long ago, some kind of urban legend. It was about some drink with a weird, burning, spicy flavor, and supposedly it turns all of your fingernails a faint shade of black. Then you see things you can't normally see, and hear things you can't normally hear. Who are? Who are? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'd heard some college students talking about hearing voices like that, swearing this mystery drink could have that effect. It's a little unnerving. Still, I really doubt it could be true. Huh? Doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like... What the heck? Alright. Can't even find the word. I'm so flabbergasted. Hey, I try to murmur. Sorry, what was your name again? Sorry, what was your name again? He interjects. Oh, right. I'm Tama. Why are you still wearing your costume? Someone might hear an explanation. Okay. Figured. Alright, so one last thing. Let's go back here and choose the businessman instead. Force it off to the businessman to my left. Here you go, sir. A free sample of Burning Hammer, the latest and greatest diet drink. The businessman flashes me a look of utter contempt and makes a point of avoiding me as he slips past. Bam! There goes the wind right out of my sails. I wonder how the other mascot is doing about now. There we go. And then everything goes back to normal, but that is the exact choice that I needed to make. Alrighty. And that's a jump, and that's a jump. Okay, so I'm actually going to end it here. And next time I will be going to this jumping point so that I can get back to Minorikawa's story. So thank you all for watching, especially if you got this far. And stick around, because there's a lot more to come.